evening, everyone. Myself, Vandana, the National Youth Representative of the Wiki Water Resources Council, welcome you all on behalf of this council to this Monday Munching, Musing with Women in Water. This is an initiative of the Eco Development and Research Cell, a not-for-profit initiative of the environmental design consultants based out of Ahmedabad. This is possible with support from the Wiki Water Resources Council. Wiki stands for Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. This is also being made possible with collaboration from W4W Foundation. And for this event, our media partners is Counterview. I'm joined today with none other than Mansi, who is our National President for Wiki Water Resources Council. I welcome you, Mansi, as well to this session again.
Thank you.
We are glad to start this conversation named Monday Munching or Musing with Women for Water, which we are colloquially referring to as Blue Lips. This is particularly aimed to share the worries and wisdom by the women, for the women, and of the women for water. Now, very often I'm repeating the term, but I think during the course of the conversation, the audience will recognize the fact that why we are discussing only women in water. We hope to learn from the endeavors that each one of the speakers have made in their own way through a masterclass kind of a conversation. And for this, today we are having Ms. Sharada Bharaty, who's the founder president of Sparsh, a voluntary organization, and Wiki State Vice President for Odisha. Welcome, Sharada ji. For the benefit of our audience, I will also give a brief bio of yours so that our audience will be able to understand how and when we located you. So she has over 3 decades of experience in the field of social development. I think you have worked across various developmental issues. I will not name each one of them because I'm sure during the conversation it will come out on its own.
Sure.
She is also the founder trustee of the Bioenzyme Entrepreneurs Academy of India, and we will probably hear more during the conversation. The first and I think the foremost thing that struck off Sharada ji during our initial conversation was the spirit of volunteerism and her belief in creating a lot of grassroots leaders. So I think that was something that I really wanted to highlight from your bio. So welcome, Sharada ji. We'll get started with our conversation.
Thank you.
When I was reading your bio, and as your bio says, 3 decades of experience. So I'm sure you would have dealt with multiple roles on this journey. And I want you to take a moment to reflect back onto this journey in terms of how you started and how you have developed over the period. And now this leadership, was it from day one or it has come off late too? So can you please take us through your life journey in this regard?
Thank you for such a huge introduction. But I consider until now, I always introduce myself as the volunteer. And even my tagline is, I cannot stop myself. If I see something, I usually do. So that way, my social work started early 90s when I became a life member in Indian Red Cross Society. So since then till now, it is so many, you can say, workshops and trainings and this. So it will be a long list. But as a National Disaster Response Team leader and specialization in disaster mental health, since means I cannot remember even 2001 until I was youth leader. I started in 2001 till now continuing.
So you are very much the youth leader till date.
Yeah, till now. I don't think. Right. So that way, and to make it the synopsis of my work with water. So let me converse it. And actually, you must be knowing about Odisha. Odisha is quite famous and infamous as well for natural disasters. So for water, there is no dearth in Odisha or more. But jokes apart, 2001, there was a big flood. Means after, if you remember 1999, the super cyclone. And that time only I was very much active, and the volunteerism part, it was actually recognized by state government as well as our national and international agencies. I had worked with Spanish Red Cross, German Red Cross, so even UNICEF, water and sanitation, all those things. So it started. It was shocking for me in 2001. There is in our coastal area, there is a place called Ostarambo. It was very fertile land and it was very beautiful. Before that also I had been to that area because we have a disaster cyclone shelter. But certain 2001, because my volunteerism, actually it is across the till grassroots, I have my, so people in Odisha, I have a lot of interviews. How come you were staying in Bhubaneswar, you were operating there? So in that way, it was my advantage. I got the information that that area, 11 villages, they don't have drinking water. And for me also, you can imagine 2001. So I was flabbergasted. How come there is 11 villages and I have seen ponds and there is that. So how come there is no drinking water? So the data shared only for 11 villages, there was only one well, which is not saline. They use that well for their drinking purpose. And due to this flood, it is inundated. So it was shocking. And you cannot imagine, the record is there. I am alone in 2001. Imagine my age and my style, you can say, in that. And it is my first time also. I went in a truck, pouches of drinking water from Odisha. We have one OMFED, that Federation of Odisha Milk Federation. From there, the pouches in a truck, load of that water alone. I had taken that because everybody in the staff and everybody was busy in the office for that flood, this thing. So it was a crisis, you can say. Spanish Red Cross totally helped me, including their banner, even the digital camera, everything. And alone I went there. It was, you can say, the water and my connection actually happened there. So even there also some that, like I said, the volunteerism part is there. So how to, in that moment only, I organized one small team, college going kids were there, they were helping me, because from there I have to move around 11 villages in tractor.
Yeah.
The pouches, even the, so that was my exposure with water and me. And to make the story short, after that, this 22nd of March, every year in Odisha, the state level inter-school competitions on Water Day, every year, it was a huge and beautiful one. We did like essay competition, debate competition, even painting competitions. Even the next year, we used to exhibit those, the recognition and these things. So it is continuing. Only for COVID, it is stopped for last 2 years. This year also we couldn't do, but it is there. So for with water and this thing. So another beautiful thing is like the volunteerism. Immediately when I got exposed to WRC, even meetings, I heard that term that we have to identify water leaders. So some of them, okay, the water leaders are there, and even some of them are, you can say, very hidden or dormant. They are doing a lot of things. Those people definitely we have to identify. But at the same time, because we are a council, and like you are saying, bio or the profile, each one you have such a beautiful. So that is the reason even I got motivated. So let me think of that, how to create the water leaders. So in that sense only, and it was, you can say, the synchronicity. It happened, the Naula Foundation, and who is working total Uttarakhand. Their water crisis very, very, very bad there. So in that area, those people, how to collaborate with them. I had 1-2 meetings with them, like Mansi was asking. So my proposal that I'll be going there, and for WRC, I'll be going there. What are the possibilities? Because their Tata is mainly the women are more active in their project. The Naula Foundation means how to create that Naula, how to protect that and this thing. So this way means the past, the present, even the future plan. I just I told you.
You have already summarized the entire discussion for us in this sense.
Yeah, it is the summary.
It's really fascinating to note that out of something which is very considered as negative in terms of a disaster, a striking or a catastrophe, and emerging leaders from there and your journey getting started. Definitely, it's something worth noting that even in negative situations, something positive emerges. While we were reading about you, we found out that you are the founder president of founder trustee of Sparsh. Can you just briefly tell us that what is this organization about and what is your role over the years in this organization?
Yeah, I'm founder president of Sparsh. It is a voluntary organization. So, and the registration is that I can work anywhere in India. So that is my advantage. So wherever I go, anything possible, like I say, I'm a volunteer. So wherever the possible I do. Mainly the Sparsh has got a main focus like on empowering women. As empowering women. Volunteering is our focus. So with since 2013, the Spurs Trophy, it is going on in our IT, Silicon, one college is there. So it was it was very beautiful program of like how to expose the professionals into social field.
Okay.
So they had given task and this thing. It was very lovely. 2013 it is going on. And voluntary blood donation movement in Odisha, Sharada or the Sparsh has a very major role. I have pioneered a lot of things in Odisha. And right now there is no scarcity, you can say, because I've struggled since 90s.
Wonderful. I think this is really something worth noting, that so much of pioneering efforts is possible through just power of volunteering. We have been hearing from others also in terms of whether there is a resource crunch or any other difficulty, be it in their personal circumstances. Certainly, you have overridden that and tried to achieve or initiate something really new. In that journey, I'm sure your typical day. How does it look like? I'm sure that there is a home front also that you need to manage along with this. And yes, of course, you are forever young, but there is certainly certain things that one has to look through over the years. Responsibilities at home front are changing. So, how are you trying to bring a balance between this?
Okay, it's such a beautiful question. No one was asking it till now. It is a beautiful question because that time I can say, you imagine when I joined Red Cross actively, it was in 90s. So right now I'm a senior citizen. So you can imagine how old I must be. And I had 2 kids, and I was taking care of their education even. They have not gone any tuition or nothing. So education, food, typical Bengali house, if you know, I have to cook everything. At the same time, I was very active in Red Cross. And that time also, people used to ask me, even the people means media have taken bites, how you are managing. I said, I am actually blessed with time management is you can say my forte. I do everything, but time management, it is very nicely I do. Where I have to cut and where I have to prioritize, that is my area. And in between that also, I am very active in, you can say, in spiritual field. Spiritual means nothing religious or rituals, like meditation, my focus. Because when the person is actually aligned, harmonized, then only they can think and they can do a good thing. And it has to start very early. Then it is not any pressure, like where if we'll be talking about spiritual, right now also even 60s people, they will know every time nahi hua, thoda din ke baat karna hai. But that personal, social and spiritual, it is for me, it is one. And I give thanks to my spiritual, that's impact. That's why I can able to do these things, or I can think in a, you can say, a rational and in a neutral way. There is no vested this thing. So that is also I'm doing in a good way.
I'm quite intrigued by one statement which you gave. Being a Bengali, there are certain things. So I think we have another Bengali in the house who would definitely jump in to add more. So Mansi, over to you to take this conversation forward.
Thank you, Vandana. I was so happily listening to both you girls and really was enjoying the conversation. But since we are discussing a woman-centric, issue, what are definitely is the background to have this discussion around. I would like to really request you to pull out something from your work and tell us how, with examples, how difficult or rewarding or enjoying of some moments which you can describe for us at work. I mean, can you tell us how it is for being a woman? Some instances where you have seen that being woman was a difficult thing, or it was rewarding, or it was very enjoying. I mean, it was better to be woman in that situation. So just to
Yeah.
understand, and thanks Sharada for taking out time for us. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. It is also a very lovely question because I have to think where, because somehow there is hurdles, I know, but I have not faced, or I have ignored that being a woman. Like even in Red Cross, I am saying I didn't know swimming. That time also I used to force the office, and I had gone to the flood area, 60 kilometers only water. They usually, even though from office, they usually don't take ladies. They say, no, इन लोगों को लो तो बहुत झमेला है, कहाँ क्या करना है. But yeah, I have done it. Second, while working for the woman, first thing, my experience, I have seen, somehow it is my experience also. I have, because I am working with the grassroots ladies in the villages. My total work is mainly with them and urban slums. I have noticed they're very smart, very, very smart. Even the kids, as well as I always give an example to, you can, like here in Gurgaon also, today only that example I gave, that they have come from Malda, Malda, some interior village. But how come they are working here so smartly? They are fending their families and everything. The smart, I feel they are. Only thing they need guidance. So can you imagine? I am the pioneer, you can say, because professionally I am a esthetician or cosmetologist or stylist, whatever. Professionally I am that. So the ramp show, the concept, that ramp show, it is 18 to 61. I do everything for them because it is theme based. And you cannot imagine the result I have achieved with that ramp show. Only one ramp show. Before that, suppose 1 week or 2 weeks, you can say practice. And after that, after the show, they are changed. The change was transformed. They're so confident because that for personality development, to make their voice heard, so that presence, it gives a lot of boosting. It is also one component I usually attend. Even dance, music, wherever in villages or in the slums I go, because I don't have any inhibition. So like you were asking as a woman, so anywhere that whatever the drum or something is playing, it is because my intention is that. So intentionally I go down and the ladies, I pull them. So first thing, they get open up and they start sharing with me immediately. So that is my, you can say, my USP, where I enter in there. Every field I have tried, and it is like, and all the histories are mainly with the Red Cross and Odisha, how I work. It is different.
Yeah, absolutely. It will be like that.
With filmy Gane and this thing, but I do everything intentionally. So, and it works.
Yes, because you were talking about this woman gaining confidence and all, which are very important, aspects when we talk about not only the vulnerable woman, but also when we look into the issue of women leadership professionally as well. As you are aware that the Wiki Water Resource Council is also inclined towards identifying professional women in the leadership positions, or to groom them into leadership position, but at least in the professional way. I'm sure while these decades of your experience on the ground and on particularly from the multifaceted, sectors and your own inclination of doing a lot of other things and around water, with water, and even water was nowhere nearby also in some of your initiatives, if I understand you better. I want to bring to your notice that there are not many women leaderships in the water sector, especially. Of course, we don't have women leadership in most of the sectors, and we are very proud that today our new president of India is going to be woman from Odisha.
From
But having
Odisha, yeah.
yeah, having said that, I'm focusing on water sector. And I want to understand from you, especially your regional dynamics there in Odisha. How is it? Is it a difficult situation for women leadership to rise there, or what is exactly the state of women leadership in Odisha?
If you will be asking about Odisha, it is a different story, and I'm thinking in the Indian aspect.
Sure,
So
you may
in
take both of them. You may take
yeah,
both
in
of them.
both the things, I feel that promotion part to make them visible, and right now the social media is the biggest platform where that is the reason why they are not promoted. That's why we don't know where are they. So in my, you can say, with the NOLA Foundation, because it will be my first this thing, I have chalked out a small plan how to create that, because they have the women volunteers who are working. But from there, we have to create water leaders. And for water leaders, there is, I have written in my small this thing, that the recognition. And in recognition, we have to, like, after training, how to recognize them, and they have to be promoted that she is the leader, and you have to do this. Even to the national forum, they should be exposed. Same thing applied to, because it will be my pilot, this thing, that NOLA Foundation, if it is working. So in Odisha, I'll be doing the same. Because till now, my president and me, we have not chalked out any, means we have not any plan, but it's my plan in Odisha. Because Odisha, we have 6 major rivers, even you can say the tributaries, even the irrigation, canals, everything is there. But there are some parts, even particularly the tribal areas, the problem is there, but no one is picking that. My focus is there. The like tribal, right now the Draupadi Murmu is there, so people have started. But Odisha is rich in tribal people, and particularly Malkangiri, Bonda tribes, you must have heard, the endangered.
Yes.
And they are facing water problem, because mainly they are dependent on streams. And like the theme goes this year's water, so the invisible, visible groundwater we have to. So on that line also we should go. And here I feel means my strategy is that WRC will be the facilitator of bridge between the admin as well as the grassroots. Like we are creating water leaders as well as we are focusing because they have to go that way. And these water leaders, I have planned, like I have to the SHGs. In Odisha scene, SHGs are doing marvelous work. Thanks to our Chief Minister, they are doing. So from SHGs, we can make our water leaders one groups.
So when you say these self-help groups are very crucial, I'm just trying to understand, and we are talking about, nurturing more water leaders, bringing to the notice of the society that here are the women who are really diligently and working on the water sector, and they need to be recognized. Importantly, as you also use the word of word promotion, yes, in the job aspects, they should have a fair chance of rising to the top in the decision making. Having said all of these, I'm just trying to understand what will be a strategy to really work on this and to bring a difference in the water sector, where we can at least see equal number of women leaders as equal to the men around. When we say leaders, it is high positions, it is decision making positions. And how do you think you plan to utilize your current position? What should we do as a group? And how do you see you will be able to facilitate, at least in your own region? I mean, then if all of us do at our own region, we are better off, you know. So what is the thing which we should do to improvise the state of women leadership? So there is no denial that there are many women working in the water sector, but definitely there is a concern about them being at the leadership or decision-making position. So what do you think? What can we do? What are your plans to do? You do mention about the NAULA Foundation, but I'm keen to understand a working strategy that you have in mind. Yeah.
NAULA Foundation is, you can say, pilot project for how to develop, because that collaboration or they have their network. So it will be easy for, means it is my concept that it will be easy. In Odisha scene, we have to, my strategy, you can say the gross level concept is to be working with collectors, district collectors. Okay. And because we have to identify the state of that water. Mainly I'm focusing on potable waters or fresh water, safe water. 1993 when water started, the focus was there. And here the beauty part is, I belong to Bioenzyme Entrepreneurs Academy. So like the strategy also, whatever we are doing for the society, in the grassroots or community, if they are not gaining anything, gain means they soft where we are giving, but they need some, you can say, hardware. The sustainability part, they understand if their livelihood is there. So on that section, I am actually conversing bioenzyme, because in bioenzyme also I have done a little bit work. I've started working in Odisha. So the buyback policy, because I'm giving them, my organization will be giving them training, as well as they will be making, because I have to make sure that they are making and they are using, because my caption of Sparsh is making the chemical-free community. So there the water as well as the bioenzyme, it is, you can say they are going together like soulmates. So wherever there is scarcity, because from the up we are going with the collectors. So naturally these people, the SHGs, because it is in Odisha, that system is very nicely done. So it will be easy to tap them. And where there is problem, we are addressing, because in Odisha, like our Dr. Mamta is there. So that part, the technical part is there. So it is taken care of. So my part is that the volunteer, the leaders, how to they promote them. Even we are giving them indirect way, we are giving them the livelihood, this thing. And about it, that's such a beautiful thing, because I believe and first believes that the man and woman, both they go together. Like पहिया तो गाड़ी चलेगा, दो पहिया सही है तो. And to making the leaders, we need the support of the male folk. Otherwise, their struggle will be more. I have seen in this, my experience, I have seen. If we will be promoting or focusing on women folk, you don't know how the chaos these male they do. And then community level, they get together and they make, means even there will be, sometimes it happened with me, like in a good purpose I have gone, but they will be, you can say, actually humiliating me or insulting me, but this lady is coming this way. So we have to go from district level, like collectors, and we are addressing total village or total community, and we are choosing that from the SHGs, we are creating our group. Small groups, not big one, small groups, and we'll be training, and because we'll be giving our contributing so much of energy there, no, and the promotion part is that when we are promoting, so we are making sure that the male folk will be standing with them. It is my strategy. Male folk means not necessarily a husband. Maybe someone's son is supporting her. Someone is, usually even SHGs, the male folk, they do help. Like kahin se kahin leke jana hai, the male folk are doing, and the manual thing. Even if they're allowing also, if the father-in-law, is allowing, even the husband is not ready, but so we have to recognize in grassroots level, we have to recognize so that that support will give a lot of boost to the woman who is ready to come out in the open.
Absolutely. And, it is not possible without the support of others that we actually talk about empowering
and
women.
that if we are recognizing them, it gives a lot of boost.
Yes, absolutely. So we will look forward to really seeing how you materialize your plans, and if there is any support required from our end, I think we should try to make it work. And definitely, because you have a strong network in the region, in Odisha, having worked for so many years, I'm sure you will be able to strategize something and conceptualize the idea to discuss with people, and also then later on form a team to materialize things. So that nearly brings me towards the end of this conversation to ask you
another two.
Sure, please go ahead.
Another two is, one is collaboration with other agencies. If they are working there, we shouldn't have any problem with them. So
Absolutely.
we should collaboration. And number three is for sponsorship, because it needs money. So
Absolutely.
sponsorship, and the same areas, any corporate houses or even Odisha rich in mining. So if we are addressing that area, so these two also very important in our planning.
Absolutely.
Like
so,
recognition, if we are giving trophy or one meeting and this thing, from where the meeting, so the collaboration part, even the stakeholders, like whoever, like pollution control board, even the UNICEF, they have their water and sanitation, whoever. And so it is my way of doing inclusive.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm also concerned about the woman who works in the pollution control board, sanitation office. I'm actually looking at them also as women leaders.
That I was asking Dr. Mamta, because she is in that. I was actually expecting those things she will be giving. So we'll be having
absolutely. We had a wonderful discussion with her. And since you're talking about, working at the collectorate level or district level, as you mentioned, and you want to really first identify them probably, and then, find out a way to build the platform and work around it. So, I mean, best wishes from our end to really make it happen. And I think your initiative with the NOLA Foundation will also help you to, bring those learning here in the Odisha region. So that brings me towards the end of this conversation, because we have tried to keep it really short and sweet, because the important message needs to be conveyed about women being in the water sector. So based on your vast experience, I would like to request you to really give us some message for the younger generation to really look at the role of women in a different way, and what they should be doing to make working a gender inclusive environment, the working environment, or, working together to make it look more gender inclusive than the patriarchal way of doing things. What is your message to the younger generation? And it's not for only girls or boys, but for younger generation. So,
relating to water, my first address will be like Benjamin Franklin had said, no, when the well will be dry, then the worth of water will be understanding. So water is very neutral thing. So we have to forget about the gender thing.
Absolutely.
If we are working for water, the thirst is with the male, thirst is also this. So here, that is my message will be, let's forget about those things. Everyone should come forward. And why the women we are making the focus? Because mostly the data says, or in every house, the kitchen part where mainly the water is consumed. Even the male folk are coming into the house and they are asking for a glass of water. And that water was faced by or collected by or kept by the women folk. So that is the major reason, and from our house only it is starting. So for water, so there is no gender. because water doesn't have any gender. Actually, spiritually, water is female.
Yes, and even all our rivers are mothers, huh?
Only
Most of our
Brahmaputra.
rivers. Only Brahmaputra is Putra.
No, father.
His father. Yeah. So I still wish to get a 1 line, 2 line from you, because from each videos we are going to make this short videos for promotion. A direct message which we can copy and make a small clip. You can just tell us what will be your message for younger generation. So I'm repeating the question. For younger generation to make the working environment gender friendly or gender inclusive. So one message is very clear that water is gender neutral. So we have to, but then what will be your message for them to behave or act or do something so that it makes it more gender inclusive? What they should do, the younger generation?
Younger generation, first thing is, because as a social worker, I always blame, not my line, I'm explaining that not the younger generation has to be blamed. I'm very pro kids. So the previous generation, the parenting itself is very wrong from the beginning. So when we are addressing the directly to the younger generation, first thing is the girls in Indian scenario, the girls has to be very assertive. She doesn't have to be aggressive to fair to make the society or the people or the other side to the presence felt. She doesn't have to be aggressive. She has to be assertive. She should know herself first. Then she can. And there is, even I do believe, and from my younger days, that I don't prefer gender equality, gender equity. So my message is, let's practice gender equity. You are also important. You means the male, female is also, and both of us, when we'll be coming together, then the holistically will be one.
So you have a message for girls that they should be assertive.
To be assertive, yeah.
Yeah. So any message for the boys or the other gender, because otherwise the message remains incomplete.
The boys has to. The boys are more very privileged since ages. So now they should respect.
What should they do?
They should respect.
Okay.
They respect the womanhood, the qualities of a woman. They should respect.
Okay.
You give respect, you have respect.
Okay. Fair enough. I think that's absolutely fair enough. Thank you so much, Vandana. If there is anything I missed out, you may take it further and also do the vote of thanks to Sharada. Thank you so much, Sharada.
I don't think, please don't give any time for saying thanks, because it is also from my side, it is mutual. So I am very happy.
We still do the thanks for you.
Okay, I also thank you.
We are grateful that you had time for us. You agreed to do this at least a month ago. So over to you, Vandana.
Thank you, Mansi. I think you have vividly covered everything that we wanted to know, and Sharada ji has also been kind enough in her responses, elaborately establishing, a broader spectrum of thoughts and ideas to us. So I think this brings us towards the end, and like any other formal event, definitely a word of thanks would be proposed. See, the fact is that Sharada ji, you brought us some insights into this whole story that we are trying to demystify. So you are you very poignantly shared with us that water is one thing which is gender neutral. And for that, your message to the audience as well as our younger professionals who are going to join us in future, certainly it will make an impact. So for those kind words, a definite vote of thanks to you for sure. And your masterclass has elaborated to us that, even this grassroots activism, as we call it, and this volunteering spirit is something which many of us have not focused as a powerful tool. So certainly your mantras in terms of, strategizing, collaborating, and involving many stakeholders and recognizing their contribution will be a long way in for us to achieve the Wiki WRC goals as well. So thank you once again for joining us today on this Monday Munching Music every Monday. Next Monday, same time, we will have on 1st of August, Vikanka Saxena joining us I would request our audience who would be watching this video once it is shared on our social media platforms to stay connected, to stay tuned and seek out more inputs. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks to Mansi as well for joining in and leading the conversation as well. Thank you.
Thank you,
Great pleasure.
Vandana, and thanks, Sharada. Bye
Great
bye.
pleasure.
Please take
Bye.
care. Bye.